Hello, everyone. Today we are going over Endgame number 5 of the 100 Endgames You Must Know. And today we are continuing the King and Pawn versus King Endgames. The last one was about if the winning side has a Rook Pawn, what how to defend if the king is already standing in the way of the pawn, in which you defend very easily by just staying in the corner. In this endgame, we're looking at what happens if the king cannot reach the corner and cannot stand in the way of the pawn. And this is really, really cool because in this case, you can imprison the king and prevent any promotion of the pawn. So if it was black to move, black could play king b2 and completely cut off the king's access. But since it's white to move, white can step closer and actually force the king in the corner where the rook pawn is and secure the draw. So let's look into it. So after king c1, trying to get to the corner, black can go king a2 to prevent the white king from doing so. Of course, something like a4 would result in the white king getting into the corner. And as we know from the last endgame, the last video, that that is a draw. And so after king a2, king c2 happens, and simply put, there's nothing black can do. There's nothing the winning side can do. So something like this can occur. And yeah, like if you go here, of course, white goes to the corner. And if you go here, well, there is nothing the winning side can do. Black is simply imprisoned by his own pawn, which is really, really neat. So you can kind of summarize the rook pawn versus the king and plus rook pawn versus king endgames as long as the king either stands in the way of the pawn or stands on the side of the pawn, directly to the side of the pawn, then it is a draw. If the king, of course, is one square further away, if the king is not directly two squares away laterally from the pawn, then it, of course, is a loss. Like if the king was on d2, then, well, there's not much white. There's not much really white can do, and black wins pretty easily. But since the king can dance between here and here, it is a draw. So that is endgame number 5. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, endgame number 6 and so on is going to go over endgames with the rook versus minor pieces. So it's going to be exciting. And yeah, look forward to the next one.